Thank you for your interest in the KES AR Toolkit Suite App solution for NetSuite. The AR Toolkit brings efficiencies and enhancements to your entire AR process in NetSuite. After this demo, if you'd like more information or a personalized demo, reach out to us and we can set that up. The AR Toolkit is a Suite app, which means it's a bundle installed directly inside of your NetSuite instance. The first feature is segment replication. This allows you to copy any segment or any field, including custom ones, from the header of your transactions down to the line items. For example, on an invoice, once the header fields are set, when you add a line, any mapped fields are copied down so you don't have to rekey them. If you realize you made a mistake, update that field at the header and click on the appropriate roll-down button. Now my updated location is updated on all my lines. The next feature is external approval. This allows you to have your sales transactions approved via email, either by people with a NetSuite license or without. For this invoice, the next approver is set as Nicole. After saving, the invoice will be sent out for approval. The process checks every 15 minutes for transactions ready to send, otherwise you can select Send Approval to send immediately. The external approval status now shows the email was sent. Here is what that email looks like, including, since this option was on, a PDF of the actual invoice. You can then select Approve or Reject on this invoice. I'll select Approve, and the invoice is now approved. The next feature is email automation. This makes it much easier and gives more power in sending invoice emails out to customers. On the customer record, a customer can be checked to receive invoice emails, as well as any number of contacts. Contacts can also be moved to CC instead of the main To field. Mark an invoice as ready to send, either manually or via workflow, and it will get sent appropriately based on a schedule of your choosing. The message that went out can be found here in the Communication tab. The next feature is multi-invoice email. On the customer, select the Email Invoices button. This brings you to the main page for this feature. It defaults to all open invoices for that customer in the last 90 days, but these parameters can be adjusted. Preview the invoices below, mark which ones you'd like to send, specify your recipient, optionally zip up the invoices, and send. You can also choose to attach a statement with the email. On the customer record, here is that email with all of the selected invoices attached. We also have the option to similarly download invoices instead of emailing them using this Download Invoices button. The next feature is collections. This allows you to have an automated dunning process. You can do individual invoice collections, statement collections, or both. Each can use different bands and use different templates, among other options. For each customer, you can exclude them from either type of email, and you can provide a collections email instead of the main email address. Contacts can also be marked to receive either of these emails. And individual invoices can also be excluded, such as invoices that are in dispute. All of the fields from this process can be referenced in searches to make it easy to manage your invoices directly within NetSuite. Adding follow-up dates and collections notes, for example, from an inline view. The next feature is consolidated invoicing, which is available with our premium version. This allows you to group individual invoices together to present to a customer. Once a customer is marked to use consolidated invoices, set the date filters for which invoices you want to pick up, select an invoice date, select Preview Invoices to see which invoices will be included, and then submit. Individual invoices can be marked to be excluded from consolidation. Here is what that consolidated invoice looks like, including a list of all the individual invoices included in it. The printed invoice, which the customer will receive, looks like a single invoice rather than multiple, and it includes every line item from each individual invoice that makes it up. After receiving payment against that invoice, simply select a consolidated invoice on the payment screen, select Pay All, and that amount should match the payment that was sent. Alternatively, you can accept payment from the consolidated invoice screen, and it will auto-apply to all included invoices. After an invoice is consolidated, it no longer appears under the invoice list when sending invoice emails. Instead, it appears under the Consolidated Invoices subtab, so that invoices can be correctly sent to the customer. Consolidated invoices will also be honored by the AR Toolkit collections process. The next feature is Sales Transaction Form Assignment. If you have different customers with special requirements, such as a unique invoice PDF or sales order custom field, this allows you to assign specific sales forms to specific customers. In a customer's form assignment area, simply assign the form that the customer should have for any transaction type. In this case, this customer has a custom invoice form. When creating a new invoice, your system-preferred form will be used as usual. However, if you select a customer with a form assigned, the form will automatically change to that customer's specific form. No need to remember to do this manually. The next feature is Disallow Duplicate POs. In this customer's list of sales orders, they have this PO number on one of their sales orders. When creating a new sales order, if the same PO number is entered, upon trying to save, an error will pop up and the sales order will not be saved. This stops you from creating a new sales order with the same PO number. The next feature is Invoice Autopay. If your company has ACH or credit card processing, and if the customer has a default payment method, once an invoice for that customer is created, the payment will be created automatically. This is great for subscription billing and works much better than creating cash sales, which can be painful to correct if a payment fails. Here is the customer's list of open invoices before the feature is turned on. Here is that list of invoices after the process has run. All of the approved open invoices have now all been automatically paid, and they're no longer on this list. And here is the list of payments that were created to pay those invoices. The next feature is Invoice Auto Apply. This is a similar feature that automatically applies any open payments or credit memos to new invoices, so you don't need to remember to apply them. Here is a customer's open invoice before the process is run. The amount due is the total of around $437. Here is an unapplied payment that the customer has of $300, again before the process has run to auto-apply. After the invoice auto-apply process has run, the unapplied payment is now applied, and you can see on the invoice that the amount due is now less that payment amount. The next feature is Auto Write-Off. This allows you to easily write off small balances on invoices where amounts aren't worth trying to collect. All you need to do is specify a write-off item and a search that picks up invoices with the criteria that you'd like to write off. For this version of the search, it's set to look for invoices over 30 days past due and less than $30. On the Write-Off Invoices screen, you can further filter invoices or set further parameters on the created write-off. Select which invoices you want to write off, and submit. Those invoices have now each been written off with a credit memo, all of which appear here in the list of credit memos. The next feature is Contract Pricing, which is also part of our premium version. This is a great option for companies that do lots of price changes and promotions, and allows a lot of flexibility around date ranges as opposed to using price levels. You can select which pricing option that you'll want to use. The most common option is lowest price, which will always give the best price for the customer. The other options are highest price, most recent price, and priority pricing, which uses a priority field on a contract to compare. These prices are based on pricing contracts. Here are 3 of them that are set up. March pricing is set up for this ARTKA item to be $3,400 for the month of March. This is only assigned to test customer. Q1 pricing has different pricing from January to March for this same customer. And VIP pricing is set up for the entire year for a different customer. After pricing is set up, it will be used on invoices. On this invoice for test customer, the APTA item has a rate of $3,500 instead of the base $3,600. Q1 pricing was used since this gave the lowest price. The ARTKA item has a rate of $3,400. This item was included in March pricing and gave the lowest price for the customer. If I create an invoice with a different customer that was only set up for VIP pricing on the ARTKA item, a different item will not use contract pricing. But for the ARTKA item, which was in that VIP pricing, they're getting the rate of $3,200. Once again, you can see the first item did not have any contract pricing, and the VIP pricing was used for the second. Thank you for your interest, and we look forward to having you as an AR Toolkit customer.